Movie Talk. Today we're going to talk about the first blockbuster. Yes, that's right. Jaws was the first summer blockbuster. Will you talk a little about it, Soren?
Thank you very much, Necromia. And yes, it was actually the first movie that got the term summer blockbuster, and yeah, you know the drill ever since. So I got this old DVD version, a special box.
Wow, cool. How long have you got that?
It's about 20 years old, Necromia. It was in one of these coupon commercials you got sent in the mail.
Those.
Yeah, they don't send them anymore, but you had to join some kind of a club and receive new movies and stuff like that. And one of my good friends was in one of these clubs, and yeah, he asked, "Do you want an extra?" Because he was already ordering, and I was like, "Yeah, thank you." So I'm rambling. Look at this, it's a beauty, and yeah, it's Danish, so it says "Dødenskab," but it's Jaws. It has this really nice little book with great info and stuff like that, and of course the movies is inside, and oh, look at this, and then there's these special cards in here. Don't really want to open them because it's kind of a mint condition, this one, so I think I will be saving that for some time, when I can get it framed or something. So, and then there's a little fine print from the movie, cinema print. So that's kind of neat. And then I really wanted the new Vault edition, but for some reason Amazon UK was a really big. They don't want to ship this out of the UK, so thank you very much, Amazon Italia, for shipping this for me. And yes, it says Lo Squalo, I think. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correct, but basically that's the outside box that's in Italian. Then everything in here is actually identical to everything else, and it says Jaws. And yeah, it's a really big box. And look at this, it's a beauty, really a beauty. And there's additional artwork here, and ooh, lots of goodies here. Look at that. I mean, isn't it awesome?
Yes, indeed.
And yes, it also features some great things. I actually think I'm gonna do like a large collage or something with frames all over. I don't know, something epic sometime, and when I can frame all this and then put the special editions in front of it, something like that. But it takes up some space, so I don't know, but it's kind of a dream of mine to like have this large Jaws wall, posters and everything, because I just really love this movie so much.
Quite understandable.
And yeah, look at this. I mean, isn't it fantastic?
Yes, it's totally awesome.
And let's take a look. Oh, I think it was that. And of course, we have the movie. Let's see. We got a 4K Ultra HD disc in there also. So that's kind of neat. And of course the Blu-ray version also. So it's kind of, yeah, multi-format there. And look at this beauty. Wow. Huh? It's really nice. Well, anyway, let's get on with the movie. Would you put it on, Necromia?
Yes. Play. That scene is so iconic.
Necromia. Jaws. Oh man, I have so many fond memories of my brother and I watching it on video when we were just kids. It was great then and it's still great. Let's take a look. Jaws is a 1975 American thriller film directed by Mr. Steven Spielberg himself, based on the 1974 novel by Peter Benchley. It stars Roy Scheider as Police Chief Martin Brody, Richard Dreyfuss, who plays a marine biologist, and Robert Shaw, who plays a professional shark hunter. Shot mostly on location of Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts, Jaws was the first motion picture to be shot on the ocean and consequently had a troubled production going over budget and schedule. As the art department's mechanical shark often malfunctioned, Spielberg decided to mostly suggest the shark's presence, employing an ominous and minimalistic theme created by composer John Williams to indicate its impending appearances. Spielberg and others have compared this suggestive approach to that of director Alfred Hitchcock. Universal Pictures' release of the film to over 450 screens was exceptionally wide release for a major studio picture at the time. And it was accompanied by an extensive marketing campaign that heavily emphasized television spots and tie-in merchandise. Regarded as a watershed moment in motion picture history, Jaws was the prototypical summer blockbuster and won several awards for its music and editing. It was the highest grossing film of all time until the release of Star Wars 2 years later. Both films were pivotal in establishing the modern Hollywood business model, which pursues high box office returns from action and adventure films with simple, high-concept premises. Released during the summer in thousands of theaters and advertising heavily, Jaws was followed by 3 sequels, none of which involved Spielberg or Benchley. In 2001, the Library of Congress selected it for preservation in the United States National Film Registry. In the New England beach town of Amistad Island, a young woman goes for a late-night ocean swim during a beach party. An unseen force attacks and pulls her underwater. Her remains are found washed up on the beach the next morning. After a medical examiner concludes it was a shark attack, newly hired police chief Martin Brody closes the beaches. Mayor Larry Warren persuades him into reconsider, fearing the town's summer economy will suffer. The coroner, apparently under pressure, now concurs the mayor's theory that it was a boating accident. Brody reluctantly accepts their conclusion until a young boy, Alex Kinter, is killed at a crowd beach. A bounty is placed on the shark, causing an amateur shark hunting frenzy. Quint, an eccentric and roughened local shark hunter, offers his service for $10,000. Consulting oceanographer Matt Hooper examines the girl's remains, confirming it was an abnormally large shark that killed her.
Let the fun begin. Jaws is an incredible movie with fantastic cinematography that stands the test of time. It still looks awesome and is highly entertaining.
And it's like the ultimate summer blockbuster. There has been events of outside screenings at lakes and so on, where people can sit in boats and enjoy the film
on a hot summer night.
If you haven't seen Jaws yet, get to it or rewatch it. It's still an awesome summer blockbuster.
It's such a classic. Don't you think, Necromia?
Yes, indeed.
Part 2 is actually also one that I watched a lot on video when I was a kid. I remember my brother and I had it recorded from German television, and the dub was kind of funny. Das ist ein Blutfisch. So now I got this really cool 4K version. It's kind of new actually, and it looks glorious. So it's fantastic. yeah, this version is nothing special, but I mean, it's there. So it's pretty standard, but I mean, it's 4K, so that's pretty awesome. So let's check it out.
Jaws 2 is a 1978 American thriller film directed by Jonathan Schwartz and co-written by Carl Gottlieb. The film stars Roy Scheider returning as Chief Martin Brody.
Like the production of the original film, the production of Jaws 2 was troubled. The first director for the film, John D. Hancock, proved to be unsuitable for an action film and was replaced by Schwartz. Scheider, who only reprised his role to end a contractual issue with Universal, was also unhappy during production and had several heated exchanges with Schwartz. The film was released on June 16, 1978 to mixed reviews. While the performances of Roy Scheider and the other actors, the special effects and the score by John Williams were praised. It received criticism for essentially duplicating the formula of the first film. However, it is regarded in retrospect as the best of the 3 Jaws sequels. I really agree. It was briefly the highest grossing sequel in history until Rocky II was released in 1979. The film's tagline, "Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water," has become one of the most famous in film history and has been parodied and homaged several times. While a new hotel opens on Amity Island, a great white shark kills 2 scuba divers, photographing the wreckage of the orca before heading into Amity waters. The camera which took pictures during the attack is recovered the next day. The shark then kills a female water skier. The driver of the boat attempts self-defense by using a gas tank and flare gun, but the boat explodes, killing her and severely burning the right side of the shark's face. Brody prohibits his 17-year-old son Mike from boating out of concern for his safety. The next morning, Mike disobeys his father's orders by going sailing with his friends, taking his 10-year-old younger brother Sean with him. Marge, another teen, takes Sean with her, and they head out on 6 separate boats.
Bad idea, of course.
Yeah, from here on, it's basically a survival movie, which works perfect for the movie.
And the climax is pretty awesome too.
Yeah, to me it's also a classic, like the first one.
It's a great summer blockbuster ride with plenty of suspense. Highly recommended.
Yeah, and after part 2, Roy Scheider never returned, and the quality of the sequels deteriorated. Part 3 got on the 3D wave. It's about a water park and a shark. Yeah, not very good. And the 4th one is notorious for a really bad script with the shark wanting revenge on Brody's wife and has followed her, and don't get me started on the effects. That's why I always just watch Jaws 1 and 2 because they are like the perfect movie night.
Yeah, part 2, that's really also a great film. I mean, it's not as classic as the original, but I mean, still pretty decent movie. Maybe a little bit more of a slasher, but I mean, who minds that? So, and yes, I know I was a little bit hard on part 3 and 4. I mean, I still got them, and part 3 is actually in 3D, Blu-ray 3D in this one, so that's pretty decent of Universal. Maybe I'll rewatch them sometime and see if they are as bad as I remember, and maybe, who knows, if I will do a decent review for them. But to fans of part 3 and 4, there's actually a 4K versions out of those movies this summer, so that's pretty awesome. So till next time, take care, and remember,
We'll see you sooner than you know.